What if I told you that every single Apple device sitting on your desk right now is about to feel 5 years old overnight? Stop scrolling and listen closely because the tech world is currently in a state of absolute chaos. Rumors are exploding out of the deepest Asian supply chains. Heavily guarded Cupertino secrets are spilling onto the internet. And what we are looking at is not just a standard spring update. It is a complete, ruthless takeover of the entire tech industry. We are talking about May 2026 Apple event that fundamentally rewrites the rules, unleashing a silicon shockwave that reportedly has Samsung, Google, and Microsoft scrambling in sheer panic. Welcome back to my channel Tech Rivet for exclusive insights into the future of tech. Subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for more tech updates. We have spent countless sleepless nights dissecting complex patent filings, verifying obscure supply chain logistics, and cross-referencing exclusive insider tips to bring you the ultimate, unfiltered breakdown of what Apple is desperately trying to hide behind closed doors. From a radically redesigned iPad 12th generation that democratizes pro-level power and an unbelievably dominant iPad Mini 8 that defies the laws of physics, to a desktop-destroying Mac Mini M5 and an Apple TV 4K poised to finally execute traditional gaming consoles. This event is packed to the absolute brim. You might think you know what to expect, but the sheer scale of the hardware upgrades and aggressive artificial intelligence integration plan for this keynote will make your jaw drop. So grab a snack, settle in, and whatever you do, do not skip a single second because we are about to decode every earth-shattering secret Apple plans to unleash. And trust me, you need to hear this before you even think about spending another dime on tech. Let us start by unraveling the mystery surrounding the device that introduces millions of people to the Apple ecosystem, the base model iPad. For years, the entry-level iPad has been the undisputed king of tablets for students, families, and casual users. But let's be honest, it has also been the victim of some incredibly confusing product decisions. We all remember the awkward transition phases, the weird Apple Pencil compatibility issues, and the non-laminated displays that felt like a relic from a bygone era. However, the iPad 12th generation is poised to wipe the slate clean and redefine what a budget tablet can achieve in 2026. The biggest and most exciting leak we have uncovered revolves around the display and the overall chassis. Apple is reportedly finally ditching the non-laminated screen completely for the base model. This means that the frustrating air gap between the glass and the display panel is gone forever, bringing the visual experience strikingly close to what you would historically only find on the iPad Air. The moment you touch your finger or a stylus to the glass, the pixels will feel like they are resting right on the surface, making drawing, note-taking, and navigating the user interface feel infinitely more responsive and premium. But the physical upgrades do not stop there. The 12th generation iPad is rumored to feature a remarkably thinner profile and significantly shrunken bezels, borrowing heavily from the design language of the iPad Pro lineup. We are talking about an edge-to-edge display that maximizes screen real estate while keeping the footprint manageable enough to toss into a small backpack. And for those who love customization, the leak suggests Apple is introducing a highly saturated, vibrant new color palette, stepping away from the muted tones of the past and returning to the bold, deeply anodized finishes that make these devices pop. But the real magic of the iPad 12th generation lies under the hood, and this is where Apple is about to put every Android tablet manufacturer on high alert. The era of giving the base iPad a hand-me-down processor that is 3 years old is over. With the aggressive push into Apple Intelligence, Apple can no longer afford to release devices that cannot handle heavy, on-device machine learning tasks. Our sources indicate that the 12th generation iPad will leapfrog older silicon and be equipped with the incredibly efficient A18 chip, complete with a significantly beefed-up neural engine and a baseline of 8 GB of unified memory. This is a massive deal. It means that for the first time ever, the cheapest IPA D in Apple's lineup will be fully capable of running localized, advanced AI features without needing to offload the processing to the cloud. Imagine sitting in a college lecture and having your base model iPad instantly transcribe the audio, summarize the key points, and generate a perfectly formatted study guide using Apple Intelligence, all in real time without skipping a beat. Imagine editing multiple streams of high-definition video in LumaFusion or rendering complex 3D models in Procreate without the dreaded app crashes or thermal throttling that plagued older models. Apple is essentially taking the raw, unadulterated power of a flagship smartphone and packing it into a device that will likely start at a price point that makes it an absolute no-brainer for consumers. Furthermore, the rumors strongly point to full support for the Apple Pencil Pro, bringing features like barrel roll, haptic feedback, and the squeeze gesture to the masses. This single decision democratizes digital art and professional-grade note-taking, obliterating the barrier to entry that previously forced consumers to spend nearly $1,000 just to get a premium stylus experience. When you combine the laminated display, the A18 powerhouse, the Apple Intelligence integration, and the Pro accessory support, the iPad 12th generation stops being just a budget tablet. It becomes an indispensable, highly capable computer that could very well cannibalize the sales of the more expensive iPad Air. Now, hold on to your seats, because if you think the base iPad is getting a massive glow-up, wait until you hear what is happening with the absolute darling of the tech community, the iPad Mini 8. The iPad Mini has always occupied a very special, almost cult-like space in Apple's lineup. It is the device beloved by pilots, doctors, avid readers, and hardcore mobile gamers who want power without the cumbersome size of an 11 or 13-inch slab of glass. But fans of the Mini have often felt neglected, forced to wait years between updates while the larger models received all the shiny new features. The May 2026 event is going to change that narrative completely. The iPad Mini 8 is shaping up to be a pocket-sized powerhouse that defies the laws of physics, and it all starts with the display. For years, users have begged for a better screen on the Mini, and it seems Apple is finally listening. We are hearing highly credible reports that Apple is bringing OLED technology to the 8-inch form factor. Yes, you heard that right. The deep, infinite blacks, the blistering contrast ratios, and the incredibly vibrant colors that completely transform the iPad Pro are finally shrinking down to the iPad Mini 8. Imagine watching HDR movies on a long flight, or reading a digital comic book where the ink looks literally painted onto the screen. But the display upgrades do not end with OLED. The leaks suggest that Apple has finally solved the battery and thermal constraints that previously prevented high refresh rates on their smallest tablet, meaning the iPad Mini 8 will feature promotion technology. The jump from a standard 60 Hz to a buttery smooth 120 Hz refresh rate is going to be jarring in the best way possible. Scrolling through massive documents, swiping between home screens, and navigating complex web pages will feel as fluid as water. It also completely eradicates the infamous jelly scrolling issue that plagued previous generations, ensuring that the visual experience is absolutely flawless no matter which orientation you hold the device. But a beautiful screen is nothing without the horsepower to drive it, and this is where the iPad Mini 8 ascends to an entirely new tier of computing. Apple knows that the Mini is a favorite among mobile gamers, and they're leaning into that identity heavily. The leaks indicate that the iPad Mini 8 will be powered by the highly anticipated A19 Pro chip, the exact same piece of silicon that will drive the flagship iPhones of the year. This processor is built on a refined 3nm, or possibly even a groundbreaking 2nm, fabrication process by TSMC, which translates to a level of power efficiency and raw computational brute force that has never been seen in a tablet of this size. With hardware-accelerated ray tracing, enhanced mesh shading, and dynamic caching, the iPad Mini 8 will easily run AAA console games like Death Stranding, Resident Evil Village, and Assassin's Creed. Read Mirage at incredibly high frame rates with stunning graphical fidelity. It will essentially be the most powerful, premium handheld gaming console on the planet, easily outclassing dedicated gaming handhelds in terms of sheer graphical prowess and battery efficiency. And because it is part of the Apple ecosystem, you can effortlessly pair it with a PlayStation or Xbox controller, prop it up with a smart folio case, and have a high-end gaming setup anywhere in the world. Beyond gaming, The A19 Pro chip means the Mini 8 will be an absolute monster for artificial intelligence. With Apple Intelligence deeply woven into iPad OS, the Mini becomes an hyper-intelligent digital assistant that you can hold in one hand. Whether you're using the new Intelligent Siri to pull data across multiple apps, to draft an email on the fly, or using visual intelligence through the upgraded rear camera to instantly identify objects, translate signs, or solve complex math problems just by pointing the lens at them, the iPad Mini 8 is going to feel like a device pulled straight out of a science fiction movie. Combine this with rumors of a larger battery, faster MagSafe-style wireless charging built into the back of the chassis, and a landscape-oriented front-facing camera for better video calls, and the iPad Mini 8 is easily one of the most anticipated devices of the decade. While the iPads are guaranteed to steal a massive portion of the spotlight, the May 2026 event is also going to cater heavily to the professional desktop users, and this brings us to the astonishing Mac Mini M5. The Mac Mini has undergone a quiet revolution over the past few years. It transitioned from a niche, somewhat underpowered desktop to an absolute titan of industry when Apple Silicon was introduced. The M4 redesign already proved that Apple could pack immense power into an impossibly small box, but the M5 iteration is going to push the boundaries of desktop computing to absolute extremes. The M5 chip is heavily rumored to be Apple's first major desktop processor to fully utilize a massive leap in node technology, resulting in a chip that requires so little power to run that thermal throttling is virtually a thing of the past. The standard M5 chip inside the base model Mac Mini will feature a radically redesigned core architecture, massively expanding the performance cores while making the efficiency cores drastically more capable. But what really has developers and creative professionals salivating is the whispered existence of the Mac Mini M5 Pro. We're talking about a machine that fits in the palm of your hand but can rival the rendering speeds of massive, power-hungry desktop tower PCs. If you're a video editor working with multiple streams of 8K ProRes footage, a music producer compiling hundreds of tracks with heavy plugins in Logic Pro, or a software engineer compiling massive codebases, the Mac Mini M5 is designed specifically to chew through those tasks without the fan ever needing to spin up to an audible level. The physical design of the Mac Mini M5 is also expected to see some highly requested refinements. While it will retain the shockingly small, minimalist aluminum block aesthetic, Apple is reportedly rethinking the port configuration to accommodate the rapidly evolving standards of professional workflows. The leaks point to an array of Thunderbolt 5 ports on the rear and the front of the machine. Thunderbolt 5 is a massive leap forward, offering up to 120 gigabits per second of bandwidth for external displays. This means you could theoretically drive multiple high refresh rate 8K monitors directly from this tiny box, or connect incredibly fast external solid-state drive arrays that operate at speeds indistinguishable from the internal storage. This transforms the Mac Mini M5 into the ultimate hub for a modern, high-end workstation. Furthermore, Apple is heavily leaning into on-device AI for the Mac lineup. The M5 architecture includes a neural engine that is reportedly 3 times larger and significantly faster than the one found in the M4 series. This is specifically designed to support the next generation of Apple Intelligence tools coming to Mac OS. We are talking about deep, system-level AI integration where your Mac can locally generate code, automate complex multi-app workflows, instantly remove backgrounds from high-resolution video streams in real time, and run massive localized language models without sending a GLE byte of data to a server. For privacy-conscious professionals and enterprise environments, this localized AI processing power is not just a luxury. It is a fundamental requirement, and the Mac Mini M5 is going to deliver it in a package that takes up almost zero space on your desk. The incredible part is that Apple is expected to aggressively price the base model Mac Mini M5, maintaining its status as the absolute best value proposition in the entire tech industry. When you can buy a computer that outperforms machines triple its price, and it fits perfectly under a monitor, it fundamentally disrupts the entire PC market, leaving competitors completely unable to answer the threat. Finally, we had to talk about the wild card of the May 2026 event, a device that has been quietly sitting in the background but is about to take over your entire living room. The completely revamped Apple TV 4K. For a long time, the Apple TV has been viewed simply as a premium streaming box, the best way to watch Netflix or Apple TV Plus with great user interface, but not much more. However, everything we are hearing about the 2026 iteration suggests that Apple is tired of just being a streaming device. They want to conquer the living room entirely. The biggest leak regarding the new Apple TV 4K is the silicon. Apple is reportedly dropping a massively overpowered chip into this little black box, heavily rumored to be either a binned version of the A18 chip or a specialized variant of the M-series processors. Why on earth would a streaming box need that much power? The answer is gaming and spatial computing. Apple is making a massive, aggressive push to turn the Apple TV 4K into a legitimate, formidable home gaming console. With an incredibly powerful chip, the new Apple TV will be fully capable of downloading and running the exact same AAA console games that are available on a Mac, iPhone, and iPad. We are talking about an ecosystem where you can start playing a massive open-world role-playing game on your iPad Mini 8 on the train, walk into your house, and instantly seamlessly resume the exact same save file on your 70-inch television in glorious 4K resolution using your new Apple TV and a wireless controller. Apple is building an invisible bridge between all of its devices, and the Apple TV 4K is the anchor for the home. But gaming is just one piece of the puzzle. The 2026 Apple TV 4K is also heavily rumored to finally incorporate a built-in wide-angle camera and microphone array. This transforms the device from a passive entertainment screen into an active communication hub. Imagine sitting on your couch and seamlessly initiating a crystal-clear FaceTime call with your entire family, with the camera using center stage technology to automatically pan and zoom to keep everyone perfectly in the frame as they move around the living room. Or imagine using the camera for interactive, AI-driven fitness applications through Apple Fitness Plus, where the Apple TV can physically track your body movements, count repetitions, and analyze your form in real time to provide instantaneous feedback on your screen. This level of interaction turns the television into a truly smart, interactive canvas. Furthermore, the new Apple TV 4K is set to become the ultimate command center for the modern smart home. With enhanced integration of the Thread network protocol and Matter compatibility, alongside a highly advanced on-device Siri powered by the new silicon, controlling your environment will be faster and more intuitive than ever. You will be able to ask Siri to dim the lights, lock the doors, and bring up the security cameras on a picture-in-picture display without any of the lag or hesitation that plagues current smart home setups. And let's not forget the audio experience. The new Apple TV is expected to feature a wildly upgraded wireless audio protocol, specifically designed to seamlessly connect with AirPods Pro and AirPods Max, offering zero-latency spatial audio that makes you feel like you're sitting in the middle of a high-end movie theater without waking up anyone else in the house. The vision here is clear. Apple wants the 2026 Apple TV 4K to be the undeniable, irreplaceable center of your home entertainment, communication, and automation universe. When you step back and look at the sheer magnitude of the products rumored for this May 2026 event, a very distinct and powerful pattern emerges. Apple is no longer satisfied with simply making great standalone devices. They are building an impenetrable, deeply interconnected ecosystem powered entirely by unparalleled silicon and deeply integrated artificial intelligence. The iPad 12th generation will bring high-end computing and AI to the masses. The iPad Mini 8 will redefine what is possible in ultra-portable gaming and productivity. The Mac Mini M5 will obliterate the boundaries of desktop performance and efficiency. And the Apple TV 4K will quietly take over the living room, tying the entire experience together. This event is not just about upgrading old hardware. It is about Apple aggressively claiming the future of computing. They are laying down the foundation for the next 10 years, proving that whether you are a budget-conscious student, an ultra-mobile professional, a demanding creative, or a family looking for the ultimate living room setup, Apple has engineered a piece of hardware specifically tailored to dominate that space. The pressure on competitors like Samsung, Microsoft, and Google has never been higher, because catching up to this level of hardware and software synergy is a monumental task. The real question is no longer whether you should upgrade, but rather which of these incredible devices you're going to integrate into your life first. The leaks are incredibly compelling. The hardware is revolutionary, and the May 2026 event is shaping up to be a historic moment in the timeline of technology. We will be tracking every single rumor, leak, and supply chain whisper leading up to the official keynote, so make sure you stay tuned. The future is arriving faster than anyone anticipated, and it is bringing a level of power and intelligence that will fundamentally change how we interact with the digital world every single day.